Helping Hand by Paulina, Padilla, age 12, inspired by the poem, The Fence. Chapter 1. It all started with the silence in the hospital. The emptiness of the room made me pretty nervous, yet excited for my little sister to arrive. Papa saw how nervous I was. He wrapped his arms around me, knowing that I would be comforted. It worked. The rest faded. I fell asleep in my papa's arms. The next thing I knew, I was in the car, driving back home with my abuelo. Papa was on the phone sobbing. I was unsure what was happening. I asked Grandpa Miguel, "Abuelo Miguel, what's going on?" He replied with a sigh, "Tu papa will have to answer that." I was really anxious. I was panicking, but kept it under control. Chapter 2. While I was in the car, I had a stampede of thoughts in my head. Did something happen with the birth of my little sister? Did something happen to my mama? I panicked while sitting in the car. When Abuelo Miguel pulled up, I asked one more time for an answer. "What happened?" He replied, "Ask your father about that." "Okay, Abuelo," I replied back. That night, I didn't know what to do. I didn't have anything to contact my dad by, only my abuelo's phone. I decided to just wait for my father and not make my grandpa angry. I waited and waited. I fell asleep thinking anxiously. Chapter 3. While me and my grandpa were waiting for my little sister and my parents to come back from the hospital, I asked, "Can we call Papa y Mama to check on them?" He replied with a panicked yet calm face, "It's only a few days until they come back. I think we can manage to wait." "Okay, Abuelo," I replied. After a few days of anxiousness, they finally arrived. I wanted to help them put out the things out from the car, but Papa wouldn't let me. My dad told me to sit down. I was anxious. I couldn't find Mama. What if she is inside of the car still? I thought. I asked about Mama. Papa's eyes watered up. Now I was really worried. "Your mom died while giving birth to your little sister." "¿Qué?" I shouted, surprised. Grandpa Miguel told me to be quiet because the baby was sleeping. At first, I blamed my sister for being the reason why my mom died. I froze. Chapter 4. It was a whirlwind of emotions. When I finally caught up on what was happening, I ran to my room crying. I overheard Abuelo Miguel say something. "Mijo, I told you to tell her when she is older." "Papa Miguel, she can't wait that long." I stuck a pillow in my face. I sobbed in the pillow. It felt like Mama was next to me, comforting me. I looked to see if she was really there. She wasn't. Is this really happening? Is she really gone? I didn't even get the chance to say goodbye. All of these thoughts and questions popped up in my head, making me dizzy. I couldn't handle it. I tried to sleep it through. The next days, I even forgot about what happened to Mama. All I could imagine is that she is in a better place now. Chapter 5. It's a few years later after the death of Mama. I still kind of blame Maya for Mama dying, but Maya is just like Mama, comforting, nice, an amazing person to talk to. I haven't seen Papa in a few days. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe it was because of me? I asked Abuelo Miguel, "Where is Papa?" "I don't know, mija. Let me call him." "Okay, Abuelo Miguel," I said. I waited for Abuelo Miguel for an answer. They were on the phone for hours. I tried to listen, but the volume was too low for me to hear. When they were done talking, I asked what had happened. The look on his face looked like something bad happened. I asked what happened. As he looked at me, I could see the sadness in his eyes. "I'll tell you later, mija." I was confused. Abuelo walked away. What happened to Papa? Did something happen to him? I thought. A few hours later, it was already late. I heard bumping. I tried to look what was happening, but Maya came up to me with a concerned face. "What is happening down there?" "I don't know," I answered. Chapter 6. We went to the room where all the bumping all started. There he was, Papa. He looked awful. We didn't know what happened to him, but it looked like he had been beaten up or something. We tried to get a closer look, but it was hard to see. Me and Maya decided to go back to bed and check on Papa tomorrow. I tucked Maya into bed and told her, "It's okay, Maya. I'll try and see what happened to Papa tomorrow, and I'll tell you if he lets me, okay?" "Okay, Rachel," she replied with a sad tone. I went into my room, concerned for Papa. I was so concerned for Papa that I couldn't sleep. Chapter 7. It was the next day. It was early, but now I remembered what happened last night, that I jumped off the bed to check on Papa. He wasn't there. Now I was really concerned, but again, it was too early. I tried to sleep a few minutes, but I wasn't that sleepy. Minutes turned into hours. It was already lunch. I ran downstairs to see if Papa was there. He wasn't there again. "Where is Papa?" I asked Abuelo. I saw him on the phone sobbing. I've never seen Abuelo cry before. "What happened?" I asked, very worried. "Tu papá saltó de un acantilado," he said with a face full of tears. My eyes also teared up. It felt like everything had fallen apart. What if either Maya or Abuelo Miguel dies next, I thought. I froze. Seconds turned into minutes. All I did was stare into the empty void. Chapter 8. It was a few months after his death. Abuelo was still pretty sad, but he is still strong. When Abuelo came back after his evening walk, he got some bad news. I could tell by the look on his face, the same face when he found out what happened to Papa. I asked him what happened. "We need to leave." "Por qué?" I responded. He asked where Maya is at. "She's in her room right now, but why?" "No time to explain. Tell Maya that we have to leave, now," he responded. "Okay, Abuelo." I went to Maya's room to tell her that we need to leave. She kept on asking me questions on why we need to leave, and she still wants answers on what Mama was like. I didn't like talking about Mama. Chapter 9. Me and Maya was packing for this wild yet confusing trip. We didn't know what was happening. "Pack just the right amount. We don't know where we are going." "Okay," Maya responded. Abuelo went to find for his friends and tell them about the news. Well, that's what I thought. I overheard Abuelo talking to this person outside. He sounded like he was pretty young, probably my age, maybe. I couldn't tell. I tried to look out the window, but I couldn't find them. I decided to continue to pack with Maya. Chapter 10. Abuelo went back inside to also continue to pack. I asked who was he talking to because I was pretty curious. "It's no one. Let's just continue to pack now," he replied. I went in my bedroom to pack. 7 shirts and 10 pants. I didn't know how much to pack for this mysterious trip. "We leave tomorrow early. I will wake you guys up." "Okay, Abuelo," I replied. I hopped into bed, hoping that Abuelo will tell us where we were going. It was 6. It was too early to be sleeping, but Abuelo said that we need to leave at 1 in the morning. It was like around 12:43 a.m., and Abuelo went into our bedrooms to wake us up. "Mija, time to wake up," he said, shaking me lightly. I moaned, trying to wake up. He went into Maya's room to wake her up. Chapter 11. It was exactly 1. We had our stuff on us like we were going to the airport, except less that people usually bring. We were walking. "Abuelo, how come we are walking? Oh, can't we take like a bus or something? They should be open 24 hours, right?" I asked. "I think it's better if we walk," he replied back. I was confused. Since we are going somewhere and it's like midnight, how come we are walking to our destination and not taking a bus? I was concerned. Several hours later, Maya became exhausted. I was too, but Abuelo looked like he had drank 2 cups of coffee. Maya looked like she was about to pass out. There was not that much water left, and Abuelo said that we should save it. I tried to carry Maya, her stuff, and also mine. I didn't want to bother Abuelo though, so I was determined to try and carry both of our stuff plus Maya. Several times later, Maya wasn't exhausted anymore. I asked her if she can carry her stuff and maybe like a few stuff for me. I was pretty exhausted. Minutes turned into hours. Felt like we were walking for days. While I was walking, I saw this big looking wall from a distance. It looked like a wall, but wasn't thick enough to be. We walked closer and closer. Abuelo, what is that? He covered my mouth. He was like in stealth mode or something. He saw a few cars and a few men. We couldn't see who they were because it was dark. Something went up in their speaker. The men went inside of the car, not noticing us in the distance. We went running at the fence. Then a car came. We didn't know what to do. Maya saw a big bush, enough to fit at least all of us. She didn't know what to do, so she pulled me, and I pulled Abuelo towards the big bush. We hid. Chapter 12. We sat on the ground, hoping that the Border Patrol won't notice us. Rachel, I need to sneeze, Maya whispered. Oh, come on, I thought to myself when Maya was whispering. She pinched her nose, hoping that the sneeze wouldn't be so loud, but it was loud enough that the Border Patrol heard her. We walked up to the bush we were hiding in. My heart raised. It looked like Maya was also having a little panic attack. I held her hand while the Border Patrol came closer. Come on, get out of the bush now. I know you are in there, he said, hoping for us to get out of the bush. Abuelo looked like he gave up. I'd never seen Abuelo give up before. Well, that's what I thought. He tried to act. He came out of the bush. Mijo, please let us through to the other side. Wait, we are trying to get to the other side? I thought to myself. We need to go there, Abuelo said, trying to convince him. It's okay, sir. You can go, he replied sadly. ¿Qué? Abuelo asked. My parents used to work in the Border Patrol and would like me to follow in their footsteps and also be in the Border Patrol. He was interrupted by Maya. Yeah, we don't need to hear your life story right now, she said with a little sass. Maya, he is explaining, okay? Just let him continue, I replied with the exact sass she gave. Maya sighed. You may continue. I obviously do not like the job, but I don't want to tell my parents, and I didn't like the job, or else they would be heartbroken. I wanted to be a doctor. My sister was diagnosed with cancer and also a survivor. I want to help people like her and other dangerous diseases that could kill people, he continued. Chapter 13. By the way, my name is Wes Goodwin. Nice to meet you, by the way. My name is Rachel Miller, and this is my little sister Maya Miller, and this is my abuelo named Miguel Torres. We asked for a ride into the city. Of course. It took us literally 5 minutes until we heard a siren. I started to have a mini panic attack. Is this the end for us? I thought. I did not know what was happening. Wes got out of the car. Hey, what are you doing with them? The other Border Patrolman asked. I'm just bringing them up to the camp, Wes answered. Maya looked at me confused. I thought that he was going to help us, not bring us to the camp. Oh, I thought that too. Abuelo, did you hear that? He said that he is going to turn us in, Maya said to Abuelo, trying to convince him to escape. Abuelo was thinking. He was making a decision whether they should try and escape or just stay and hope that he doesn't bring us to the camp. I think we should stay, Abuelo said. What? But you heard him. He is going to... Abuelo covered her mouth. Abuelo shushed at Maya. He heard Wes coming towards the car. Wes got in the car. Sorry for what you heard. I tried to make up a story so you guys won't actually be going to the camp, he said. I stared deeply into Maya's eyes, trying to show that she was wrong, even though I thought she was telling the truth. Chapter 14. We were in the car for half an hour because Wes's car, it was pretty slow. But we made it. Here, I'll try to look for a near hotel for you guys to stay in, he said. Okay, Abuelo responded. Once we got in the room, oh man, that felt amazing. I got to lay down on the soft bed. Felt like heaven. You guys okay with this room? Wes asked. Of course, I responded. Okay, perfect. Sleep well, because we still have a long way to go. We will stay at my place in Los Angeles, Wes said. Wow, Los Angeles! I've heard that people have seen famous people there, I thought. It was the next day. Yes, I asked while opening the door. It was Wes. Wake up your sister and grandpa while I go and get breakfast for you three, he said. Did you eat yet? I asked. No, not yet, but I'll maybe get something to eat along the way back, he answered. Okay, I closed the door. 10 minutes later, someone knocked on the door. It was Wes. Abuelo got the food. Gracias, mijo. You're welcome, he answered with a smile. Chapter 15. We sat on the chair ready to eat. Once we were done, we went into his car. He started the car. It looked like Abuelo was pretty happy now. It took us at least 2 hours to arrive to his house. Wow, I said. His house was amazing. I will try and look for a house for you guys. Months had passed and we still haven't found a house yet. Well, at least I got a little job for me. I have about $50-$60. It was pretty hard to find work. Once I came back home, I saw Wes asking Abuelo to sign something. I couldn't see what it was. What's that? I asked. I found a house for you, Wes answered. What? Really? Wait, are you going to visit us though? I asked. Of course I am.